Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, welcome everybody. I am Carrie Williams, and thank you guys so much for joining us on a Sunday evening. I just want to, first of all, if you are brand new to LifeVantage, I want to welcome you. So excited to have you guys in the LifeVantage family. Super passionate about this. I was actually introduced to this over 10 years ago, and this information has completely changed our life. So excited that if you are new with us, and if you've been with us for years, thanks for taking the time on a Sunday night to be with us, or if you're watching this later on the replay, excited that you are doing this. So I cannot believe it has been 2 weeks since convention. There is so much going on. Sharice last week talked about the Friends and Family Referral Program, the app. If you have not checked that out, so many updates, so much incredible good stuff going on that truly there could never be a better time to be building with LifeVantage right here, right now. So tonight, though, we are talking about the third step in ITT, right? So for ITT, first, we invite them to the First Touch video. Next, we use the company overview as a tool, and then we introduce them to the team. And that's third-party validation, right? So we're talking about that last T, the team, tonight. See, I got to tell you, I love that this simple system is what we're doing. This is honestly what we've done the whole 10 plus years that I've been involved, this whole time, how we've built our business. And I got to say, if you are not currently using third-party validation to really help grow your business, you're missing out. It's a critical step. Third-party validation and the team aspect is just pure gold. So one thing that I love about this is you do not need to be the expert, but you want to be an expert at connecting people. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So we always say, you know, this is a business of belief in 3 different things. You got to believe in these products. You got to believe in the industry, and you got to believe that you, each and every one of you, I'm looking at you guys, can do this, right? So that last step in ITT can really actually build belief in all of them, because you can use that person to validate whether it's the products, the business, or they can see, hey, I don't have to do this on my own, right? I'm part of a team. Now, one thing I have found is some people really resist the idea of third-party validation. You can throw that in the chat if that's you or someone you know, maybe that they have resisted the idea of third-party validation. Maybe you feel like it's weird or uncomfortable for your friends, but here's what I want to tell you guys. If it is well done, it's an incredible tool. So don't make it funky. Nobody wants to be in a business that you got to be funky with your friends with. So make it natural and really take advantage of using the team. So let's kind of start with some specifics, right? Like, let's get gritty right away. How do you even go about connecting people? So, you know, one thing that I love, times have changed, right? It is so easy now to just group text people or group messenger text people as well. So that way, I've just found that if you start a conversation in a way that's comfortable or familiar with the person that you're talking to, right? So if you've been texting them back and forth and you just add that third-party validation person into the group text and introduce them, that's a way that you can just start that third-party validation and start that process of introducing them to the team. Or maybe they're someone that you've, you know, whether a Facebook friend and you're going back and forth with them on Messenger, or someone you didn't even know, but you've met them through social media. Great. Do a group messenger chat. So before you even, you know, bring that other person into the text or the messenger chat, bring them into the conversation again, just to smooth it over, make it easy, right? So maybe you're talking to the person, maybe they're a physical therapist, and you might be saying in your conversation, like, hey, I would love for you to meet Jessica. She's also a physical therapist. I'd love for you to hear her story and how she's found the time to add this to her very, very busy plate, right? So you're kind of prepping that conversation. Another thing you can do is, you know, if you're talking about the business, you can say, hey, you know, I love, because I'm always talking up the team in my conversations, but I love that, you know, in this business, I've got a mentor to guide me every step of the way. I love that that we're not in it alone. And I'd love to introduce you to my mentor. So you're just looking for ways to connect people and just work it into the conversation. So after, they've watched the flip video, then they've watched the overview and they've learned more. And then you want to move them into that third party validation piece and you're introducing them to the team. Go ahead, put them in a group text chat, a group messenger chat, anything like that. That's one option, you guys. Now, as you do that, if you're putting them in a group text, just do a quick introduction via text. Why I say that is what you don't want to do is just have, the two different people, they have no idea, they don't have each other in their phone, they're being connected, they don't know why, and you don't explain anything at all. Does that make sense? Trust me, I've had people do that, and there's just a better, more effective way to do that, right? So it could just, be again, like I was saying with that one example, hey, Julie is a physical therapist. I've got my friend Jessica, another physical therapist on this group text, and I just wanted to connect you guys. So Jessica, you could share your story, that kind of thing. Just simple and brief so they know who on earth is the other person on that text or that messenger thread, right? If everybody's an iPhone on the thing, then when, the little thing is blue, or if you're using a messenger chat, I love the fact that you can do the voice feature, right? Like leave them a voice message through text or messenger chat. You guys, voice things are awesome. That way they can hear the voice, they can hear the passion, the enthusiasm behind the message as well. So this is just a great way to kind of break the ice, to ease into that third party validation, maybe let them hear from someone else at their convenience, at everybody's convenience, right? That you can leave those messages. But your goal in third party validation is that you want to start that conversation on text or messenger, and you want to connect people, right? You want to get them responding. You want to get it flowing. But ideally, especially if they're really looking at the business, you want to move that into a call or a Zoom or something like that. But so think about this. So if you've got, a prospect in a messenger chat with someone else, then your validator can literally, they can be going back and forth, answering a few questions, and then they can just say, hey, I'd love to jump on Zoom and meet you and talk to you and answer those questions and things like that. So it's just a simple way to connect people, to start that conversation, and then to be able to move it to the next stage even easier. So absolutely take advantage of that, you guys. Dr. Jessica Bueller, she's phenomenal at that. I'm on like so many different threads with different people of hers, and she'll just connect different people and just say, hey, share your story or that type of thing. And that's the first step. And then like today we took it to Zoom and talked a lot longer to someone who wanted more information in detail on the business. Now, when you move it to a phone call or a Zoom, let's talk about that, okay? Because the setup and the introduction is key and it matters. So set it up as if you were meeting friends, maybe at a coffee shop, and introducing them, that kind of thing. So one mistake that some people make, and it's really easy to do, and trust me when I say mistakes, we have all been there, done that. We've made mistakes. And so if you're new, we want you to learn from our mistakes. So if you've made these mistakes, do not feel bad. We just want to help everyone be more effective and learn from our own mistakes. But so many times, people will just say, hey, Carrie, this is Jen, boom, and they leave it at that. Like as we're introducing, we're starting off a Zoom. So we're literally about to talk to them and they just, Carrie, this Jen, Carrie. Oh, dead silence. Please do not do that. We can make it so much more effective. If you say something like, Carrie, Jen is my best friend. We have known each other for 20 years. She is married with 3 kids. She's my workout buddy. She's health conscious. But let me tell you, this woman is a go-getter. She works her tail off in real estate. Her kids are so active and she's got a very full plate. But when I sit there and think about who do I want to do this business with, it's Jen. She just watched the overview and she has some great questions, but I got to tell you, she is skeptical because she has been involved in network marketing and has not, really gotten what she wanted out of it. So I wanted to introduce Jen to you. Do you guys see what a difference that makes, right? So then the person that you're talking to, they have something to go off of, right? They know what information they've already seen. They have idea, how do you know each other? Maybe, you can bring up some possible, concerns or objections, things like that they have. So in the introduction, then the person that's validating, they're taking a mental note in their head. Sometimes I'm taking physical notes too, right? Jotting things down so then I can address it as I talk to the person. Now, maybe it's not someone that you know as well as that, right? So it could be like, hey, I just met Stephanie on Facebook. I saw that she was a spin instructor. I saw she was a nutritionist. I reached out to her. She just watched an overview and I couldn't believe she's super into biohacking. We started talking about this business. We started talking about how critical it is to have another stream of income with everything going on in the world right now. So it could be that type of thing, but just something to kind of, again, connect those dots and get that conversation flowing. Trust me, it really makes a difference if it's just a skill that you would just want to work on. So in the introduction, you are given some background on the person. How do you know each other? What have they looked at so far? What's maybe caught their interest? I might say, oh, they were super into this science. She was blown away, when I told her about the American Heart Association or whatever that might be, right? Kind of, give some clues as to how your initial conversation's already gone. Again, maybe what concerns they have. So just give something for that validator to kind of go off of, get that conversation flowing, and just to make it really natural versus awkward. Now, you also want to introduce the person that's validating for you, right? Edify them, promote the person. Why should they listen to them? Connect them. And that's not like, oh, Carrie's a pro 9 or this person's a pro 5 or whatever. That the rank of someone, when you're talking to a brand new person, that doesn't mean anything to them. And they don't need to be a top distributor for you to be edifying them either. You're just looking for reasons to connect people. Maybe you're introducing a mom who's had success with this business and they're talking to another mom because they're trying to figure out, how on earth do I add this to my busy life? How do I juggle doing this business with kids, right? So connecting them like that. Maybe you're connecting two different business people, right? So then they can kind of talk each other's language in terms of overhead and employees and the power of residual leveraged income, right? Versus traditional business. Maybe, you're just trying to build their vision. You're trying to show them who all is involved in this and the caliber of people that are attracted to LifeVantage. So, depending on what that connection is, just, kind of connecting those dots. Like I might say, hey, this is Maria. I saw Maria on there. Hi, Maria. My next door neighbor. I still think of her as my next door neighbor, even though it's been 6 years. She's been doing this for 10 years. She had just moved from Massachusetts the year before. She didn't know a single person in Arizona. She'd been a human resource manager. She was working so many hours. She'd never been in this industry before. And now she's built a team that does over $14 million in volume a year and changing so many lives. And she's super proactive with her health. Her journey has been incredible. So I just wanted to connect both of you so she could answer any questions you have. And I just knew that you would relate to her. And so maybe that's someone that says, I've just moved here. I don't know a lot of people, right? So just depending on whatever is going on, you want to connect people. One idea that I've actually found to be very, very helpful is also to plant the seed of third-party validation before they even watch that business overview. So you might say, hey, if you are like me, after you watch this video, you're going to be blown away. And I would love to jump on Zoom and introduce you to my friend or mentor, and they can answer any questions you might have. Now, so you're just planting that seed before it even happens. So then it just makes it so much easier to do that connection. Now, please, 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 I beg of you, do not say upline. Do not say three-way. Yes, that's terminology we might use, but do not use that with someone that you're talking to. Just be aware of our language, right? And right now, more people than ever are familiar with Zoom. So Zoom is a great way to do third-party validation. So let's jump on Zoom, right? And you guys, I want you to know that if you mess this up, who cares? Work on it and get better. You can do it again and again. Some of you have maybe heard this story. So Carrie Dickey, Pro 11 in this company, is who introduced it to me. You guys, I literally hung up on her as I tried to merge people for like my first three-way call. Imagine that. Wouldn't you just die of embarrassment? But what choice do you have? Figure it out and get better and try again. And so just know that if you screw it up, it's not the end of the world, right? But just keep trying. And so, you know, if you are doing a three-way call, I mean, literally practice with your phone, you know, try it with it, you know, a friend or a kid or whoever, and do that adding that person and merging, just so you know how that technical piece works. Because if you haven't been in this industry, you know, a lot of people aren't familiar with how to use, you know, adding a person to their phone. And you guys, technology has improved so much. So again, if you guys are all iPhones, you can literally, like, there's a group FaceTime button, and you can hit that and boom, one button, and whoever's on that chat, you guys are all connected right away for a group FaceTime call. The same thing through Messenger. So you can do like a video chat through Messenger. So, you know, essentially a FaceTime call, essentially like a Zoom, right? Everybody's seeing their faces on their screen. And so you can set that up like, hey, let's do a messenger call, you know, at 4 o'clock type of thing, and boom, press that button. So then you don't even have to do that piece of learning how to do that third-party validation. So technology is getting easier and easier for us. Now, if you have someone looking at, you know, the company overview, text your support team, and you can give them a heads up and just say, hey, you know, I've got my really good friend. She's about to watch that video. If she ends up being, you know, interested in this business, you know, I would love to introduce her. Like, are you free or not? Right. So just test it and see. And then always, if the person isn't interested or whatever happens, if you don't need them, let them know that. Just be really courteous, right? So they're not waiting for your call, and for the call that never comes, essentially. And if nobody is available right then, no problem whatsoever. Don't skip the third step, but you can just tell your guest, hey, I'd love to introduce you later. So-and-so can't wait to meet you. So I will group text us so we can find a time to connect, or messenger chat to find a time to connect. If the person happens to be ready to go, get them started. Don't wait, right? No delays whatsoever. And then you can introduce them to the team after the fact. Now, if you are the validator, and you guys, again, this is something that I have learned. It is a skill, you know, worked on and continue to work on. If, say, the validator doesn't, or the person doesn't set it up right, and they do just say, Carrie, this is Jen, and that's it, and you have nothing to go on, what I've learned is just ask questions to get that flowing. So I might say, John, so how do you know Maria? What all has she seen yet? That kind of thing. And so just start asking those questions, and you can kind of prompt the person, pull that out of them. But also, you know, be aware of your audience. You know, some people you can kind of chit chat, make conversation, warm them up a little bit. Other people, maybe you got, you know, someone that's on a tight time crunch and they only have a few minutes. So, you know, it's great to find out, okay, how much time do you have? And so you know where to go with that. Also, even in terms of the energy, some people are really high energy, and I can kind of like be silly, be goofy, be crazy with them, right? Like Michelle Poe, she'll jokingly be like, okay, Carrie, you can go like crazy, wild and crazy, go all out on them. And then other people, she might say, okay, you need to dial it back a little bit for them. And I love that kind of information. The person that's validating for you, you know, they're just there to help. So whatever information you can give them ahead of time really helps, especially if they're looking at this business. You know, if they've done network marketing, let the person know that. That's another great question to ask. Like, have you ever been involved in network marketing? You know, tell me about it. What companies, or what do you know about it? Again, just get good at asking questions because that's a different conversation. So the more information you give, whether it's in that introduction or even a little ahead of time, so that way the person can kind of tailor those questions, the better. So just, great questions. What I will say is, if after you get off the phone, you talk to the person and then you find out, oh, they've actually been involved in network marketing, they're this, they're that, and you didn't know that, or the same thing, like when we've had home meetings and you find that out after the fact, you're like, I just want to like shake you because we could have had such a different conversation, right? So, anything like that that could be pertinent, just share that information to help the conversation along the best that you can. Now, here's something that's hard to do. Anybody know what I'm about to say? This is so hard. So after you introduce them, you gotta zip it. You gotta mute your phone or your mic if necessary. You gotta let that validator have that conversation with your guest. You get to learn and listen and let them connect without jumping in. Let them paint that big vision. They know where they're going with this conversation. Let the validator, even at the end, find out, are they ready to get started or where are they at? Let that magic happen. So literally mute your phone. And you can just say, hey, after you introduce them, like, or just mute it. Even sometimes on Zoom, you guys, we don't even realize what background noise we have even when we're not talking. So literally, I like to mute it if I'm not actually speaking, just or even on a three-way call sometimes, so the quality of the call is better and they're not like straining to hear through the background noise and all that. So let that magic happen, zip it, and let that validator talk to your person. Now, who should use third-party validation? Everybody, right? But here's the thing, it can look different in your journey as you grow with the business. So what I mean by that, it is the same system period, no matter what ITT invite to a tool to the team. But in the very beginning, you might be using the team for every single contact that you share this with after they look at some information, okay? And you are learning, and there is huge value to that. But as you go, you start sifting and sorting, right? This is a process of sifting and sorting. If someone has zero interest after watching, that overview, I'm not here to convince people. I don't want to be in convince mode. So, that might be someone that does not need to be connected to the team. That doesn't mean that they're a no forever, but some people are just not open, or they don't need that at that point in time. As you get more comfortable, maybe, you're talking to them and they absolutely know they want to get started on this product, and you can go ahead, get them started on the product, right? Help them become a customer, whether you're sending them the link, walking them through that process, that type of thing. And maybe they really are not interested at all in the business at that point in time. So you might be sifting and sorting, and then bringing, the team in and that validation for those that might have a hint of interest with the business, so that you can expand their vision or share with them what's possible. And so then you're introducing them to the team. So does that kind of make sense? Like as you go in this process, the type of validation you do can shift a little bit. Another thing I want you to think broader about, perhaps in introducing people to the team, what that can actually mean as well. Occasionally, that might be using another tool. So for example, maybe that they're a doctor and maybe they want to hear from other doctors on why they're doing this or how they've built it. So we've literally recorded Zooms with different doctors that are talking just about that. Just this week, I know a group of doctors did that, and we were, talking with Dr. Melody Rodardi. And, so many people want to introduce, her to different people. And so they have created this tool so that takes the place of that, because one person can only be in so many conversations in so many places. So, but you're still introducing them to the caliber of the people and why they're doing it. So that's a piece of a tool that you can use that's still introducing them to the team as well. That could also be tagging them in a Facebook video or a post so they can maybe hear someone's story about that, right? So they're seeing the team, they're hearing their story, but it's just a way for you to get through more people. And then you can connect them to someone on the team after that as well. Does that make sense? And then third-party validation and the team does not end just because somebody signs up. No, right? No, we want to introduce them to their active support team. So that could be maybe 3 or 4 people that are, really involved in working it, not 10, okay? Don't overwhelm people. We can always introduce them to more people later, but just sometimes it's overwhelming if someone's on a huge group thread with all these different people and they're just like barely interested, like they got the pack, but they're not like gung-ho yet, and it just can be too much. So pick a few key people that are going to be working closely with them to help support them, and then you can introduce them to others later as well. You can use that third-party validation in the team for when someone's struggling in the business perhaps as well. Maybe they've been in for who knows how long. They could be in for a year or whatever. Maybe they're hitting a roadblock, and you can introduce them to someone that has gone through that same thing, and they can share how they overcame that obstacle and what they did and where they're at now. So just do it in that same exact way, you introducing both parties, set that conversation up properly. And that absolutely, again, makes a difference. When you're introducing new distributors to the team, a lot of times we'll jump on Zoom to do that kind of thing. Again, I like to set it up like this is a business, right? I mean, this is huge. This is such huge potential. Give it that respect as well. Hey, I want to introduce you to our business, our partners, our team. These are mentors you're going to be working closely with, and like explain to them that whole piece of it, so they're not just like thinking, oh, I'm jumping on the phone, and they have no idea who this is or what that means. So I want to give you guys some homework. I want you to look at your list, right? So if you have your launch guide printed out, what I love with those 25 names, it has your ITT, and you can literally check the box for each person. Have you done the invite, the tool, the team? Look at that list. How many have you really done third-party validation with? How many have you introduced to the team? How many people could you look at your list and now go introduce them to the team? Maybe they're already a customer and they're taking these products. Maybe you could now go introduce them to someone on the team and build their vision and see if they're, open to taking a look at this business. Who on your team, maybe they've joined and they haven't, met anyone. Who can you introduce on that? So who could, maybe just is feeling a little out there on an island on their own, and they need a little loving from other people in the team, and who can you introduce and just connect, right? Connect. So how many people this week, put this in the chat, how many people do you commit to this week to using third-party validation with? Again, like I said, we always say you got to believe in the products, the business model, and believe that you can do this. I'm telling you guys, this third-party validation and introducing them to the team is so critical. Most people, it's overwhelming, right? If you have been in for a while, put yourself in the shoes again of when you first saw this. I mean, there's so much to learn. And so people are feeling like, oh, I got to learn all this before I ever go talk to someone. No, most people will never get started. But if they realize, hey, I can invite them to look at a tool and then introduce them to the team. And then they can start to see how they can have success. That is so, so, so powerful, you guys, to realize that you don't have to be the expert, that you're not in this business alone, that you have a team of people that all have different strengths that, can go build this together. That's a big, big, big deal. So when I'm talking to people, I'm always thinking, okay, am I following the system, right? Am I doing this in a way that they can have success? This is a business of duplication. So we want to set them up for success by following that system, following ITT, and using that third-party validation and introducing them to the team. So it is ITT, right? It is not just, we want to ITT them. We don't want to IT them. So do not forget that last T. ITT them. Now, I'm going to look at the chat in just a moment. And so if there's questions in there, I can come back and answer that in just a second. But I want to just share a quick 3-minute video with you guys. This is something I'm just super passionate about. If you've been around for a long time, maybe you've seen it, but it's worth rewatching. This concept is huge in life and business. It's actually, I was so passionate about this. This is actually the name of my business, believe it or not. So hang on one sec while I share my screen. We watch this 3-minute video and then I'll finish it up. So hang on one sec, okay? It's worth it, I promise. Can you guys hear that? Mary, thumbs up me. Hang on one sec. Let me go back. Oh, how do I stop the share? ah. Can you guys, I don't know, hope you can still hear me. Okay, so I just gotta say, like, that video, I'm not joking, I get so fired up still watching that concept of that 1 extra degree, right? The difference of where water boils versus it doesn't. So where can you apply that in your business, in your life? Can you do one more follow up, one more call each day, one more third party validation? That focus on your goal, on your vision, your persistence, all of that piece. So just know, you guys, we're so passionate about this. We're passionate about helping each and every one of you get to your goals. We're passionate about changing lives through this product, these products that are life changing in this business, and just go after your dreams because it is all worth it. So love you guys so much. And thanks for jumping on tonight. Appreciate ya. Oh, let me put the link. Okay, thanks guys. Bye everybody. Happy Sunday.